everyone, it's French.
And it's Yale.
And today we have Charlotte Colby on the podcast.
This is our first guest. Yay!
Charlotte is an entrepreneur and the founder and owner of Form YpS, currently in South Lake, probably going to be expanding to other places one day.
Because it's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Yeah, actually no plans to expand. I'm like, I don't know.
It's a lot of work, right?
Yeah, we'll see. 5 months in, we'll see where we are from now.
Yeah.
That kind of.
And so can you walk us through what Form is and then...
Yeah. What gave you the idea to start it?
Yeah.
You know, why South Lake? I know we're all kind of around South Lake, but you know, the location, just walk us through your process of what inspired you.
Yeah.
When that started.
Well, I graduated college, did the whole corporate world, worked for Sewell Lexus, and just after we got married, I kind of did the whole like bait hook switch move. I had this like corporate job, making good money, and then just realized like this was not a job that I was happy at, and definitely could not raise kids with that kind of job. I mean, I worked Saturdays, I worked late nights. So anyways, I'd started taking Pilates and had always just had like a real muscular like body. I mean, I still have like bigger thighs, but it was the only exercise that I ever found that would like slim down like my bigger thighs from like playing soccer and gymnastics. And so anyways, I fell in love with it and was like, you know what, I want to teach this. And so I quit my corporate job and went to work for Lululemon in Dallas at Knox Henderson, and told my husband, I'm really sorry. I'm going from making six figures to, I think it was like $15 an hour, I don't even know. And then got my Pilates certification. And
Did Lululemon pay for the Pilates certification?
No.
Okay.
No. I think they would if you were like higher up, but it was just like I worked for Lululemon to kind of like dive in the like fitness industry, and like a lot of people work at Lulu and teach, and then they don't do like a lot of marketing. So the way that they market is like sending their employees to like take classes, and they pay for them to take classes and stuff like that. So they didn't pay for the certification, but they will pay for their employees to like go try out studios and stuff like that.
Cool.
Yeah, and then I taught Pilates kind of all over. I started at Equinox, and then ultimately my goal was to teach at the studio called Beyond, and I started teaching there and loved it. And then I taught kind of like some hybrids. So I originally taught like a format that was like on the rebounder, like half the rebounder, half the reformer, half on like the woodway treadmill. And then I taught another format that was like HIIT driven with stuff. So anyways, I was teaching probably like 20 classes a week, like really just like dove in and like was teaching like full time.
How long ago was this?
This was in 2012.
Oh, so you've been...
No, take that back. 2014.
Okay.
Because we got married in 14, and I pretty much immediately started teaching. So probably early 15, I was like on the schedule at a studio. And so 2015, I was like full-time teaching. Had Teddy, my first in 2016, and it was like the perfect job. Like I taught Pilates literally up until the day that I like gave birth to him.
Oh my gosh.
And I will to this day say that Pilates is the reason that like I had such a like quick recovery and like all of that. It's the best. So anyways, then I taught for the next 2 years, kind of way more like part-time. And then we had our second, and Mark, my husband, was kind of reverse commuting to Westlake, and so we lived in Dallas, and it was just an awful commute. And so he's like, we're moving to South Lake. And I was like, okay. So we ripped that Band-Aid off, and I had actually already looked at franchising a Beyond out in South Lake, because I was like, I knew that I originally, like, if we were going to move to the suburbs, I was like, either South Lake or Colleyville. Like, I didn't want to go to Plano, I didn't want to go to Frisco. So anyways, long story short, we got out here. I ended up not doing the franchise, which obviously, thankfully, I didn't. But and then we got out here, and I started taking like Pilates classes, and I was like, where is everybody? Like, you know, the 9:30 class had like no one in it. And so I was like, okay, it's not the same market, like gonna take a step back, like don't need to open a studio, really need to like figure out like the market out here. And thank God I didn't, because COVID hit. And
Oh, wow.
so that was kind
That
of
was a
like,
blessing.
yeah, a blessing that I didn't have a studio during that. And then we had a third baby, and so obviously timing was just not right. And then I was realizing all these big studios would come out here and they wouldn't make it. And so I was just
that.
like,
I thought it was so weird too, because there was one that was like right by Central Market too that I thought sounded like a great idea, but it went under, I think, during COVID too. And I was like, nothing ever came back. Things kind of floundered. I went to a different Pilates studio. That one also was like hit or miss. I didn't love the instructors and the music and stuff. So yeah.
It was just like, it's a weird market out here. And we've been here 6 years now. And so like over those last years, I was just like, what do people want out here? What do people need? And I mean, when I was kind of selling my business idea to my husband, and then when we would like be looking at spaces, you know, they'd be like, well, what makes you unique? And I'm like, because I figured out that in South Lake, you need to like live, eat, breathe dragon. And like, if you are not like embedded in the community and like know what's going on and a part of like, you know, football, baseball, soccer, cheer, like all the things, like no one really cares about like supporting you. And I know that like sounds bad, but it's like, I don't know. It's just this weird thing that I truly believe is like what South Lake is like all about, because we're just like a smaller, and I say South Lake, like obviously, you know, Westlake and all of that, but being like embedded in like the South Lake world was like, that's where it's at. So that's kind of how I thought of it. I was like, well, you know, I've built my community over these last 6 years, and I think that now I'm ready to open what I want. And so originally I always wanted Pilates and yoga. So in the DFW area, there's really not any studio that has like those two things. And like, I love working out and having kids and everything. It was always like, oh, well, what do you do to work out? Or how did you lose your baby weight? And and it was never one thing. It was always like, I could never sit still and just do one thing. And so I feel like in the last couple of years, the whole like sculpt thing has kind of come and is more popular. And so there was a couple studios in Dallas that I would go to. I mean, I would drive to Dallas multiple times a week to go take my yoga classes, my Pilates, my sculpt. And so yeah, whenever it was like really diving into what I wanted, I was like, I need these 3 formats, and I wanted to create something for our clients, especially women, where they could just go to one studio. Like you don't have to have a yoga membership, a Pilates membership, a gym membership where you can go lift weights or, so I knew it was going to be, that's where the YpS comes in, is yoga, Pilates, sculpt. So it was always going to be reformer Pilates, always going to be yoga. And then I wanted to add, I feel like all the like rage right now is like weightlifting and, you know, building muscle. And I feel like everyone was so scared of that for so long that now everyone's not. So I was like, okay, we need some weights in there. So that's how it was kind of born. And I still kind of stand by, if you do these 3 formats, I think you'll see results. I think you'll, you know, lean out, build muscle. You know, if you need to lose weight, you can do that there. I mean, you can kind of do all of the things in this one location. And I always kind of joked, I was like, I hate saying it, but there was no Instagrammable studio out here. You know, you've got,
so true.
you know,
They're
you
not
like,
cute.
it's
They're
like you
not
want to
cute.
walk into a studio and feel like, wow, this is my time. You know, this is a pretty place that I can just like
it makes
spend
me want to go more. Feel inspired, and just, you know, personally, I just love things that look good, beautiful things. Like as an interior designer, like it just, you know, it speaks to me. So I appreciated it, and I definitely noticed. Like when you would post the sneak peeks online on Instagram before it opened, I was like, oh my gosh, it's gonna look so good. And you did such an amazing job with that too. Like the whole aesthetic and the color scheme. And I think you definitely like did the whole green for the dragons, right? South Lake
Well,
Dragons.
kind
Is that how
of.
you picked the green?
It's technically not Kelly green because I was like,
I know,
I
it's
can't
not,
be.
no, that one's a little.
Yeah, I can't be like drag green.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. That's always kind of been my color. So like my wedding colors were like black, white, and that like more like hunter green.
Mm-hmm.
And so my girlfriend was like, I feel like you've got to do green. And I was like, oh, I don't know. I don't want to be like too dragony. And then I was like, well, you know what? You might as well like have apparel that they can wear, you know, to a dragon game.
That's true,
or
'cause it has
like
the black and the green.
yeah. So
Yeah.
in the end, it was kind of yes,
smart.
it's for both.
And for our listeners, dragon is the town's mascot.
Yes.
So
South
every
Lake.
school,
It's interesting because every school, starting from some elementary schools even have pre-K,
Yeah.
all the way through high school, Carroll High School. There's only one mascot in the whole town because it started off maybe 30 years ago as a much smaller, like more rural town, and there was this huge pride around football, and they were the Dragons. And so even as they had multiple elementary schools open and multiple middle schools, everyone is still a dragon in the town. So there's this immense pride about being a dragon, being part of South Lake, and so just to give a little background as to why we keep talking about dragons.
it's really unique, and it's actually brilliant marketing because it helped
Yeah.
instill, you know, Yael and I
pride.
live in South, well, she doesn't live in South Lake anymore, I guess,
I
but
did. Formerly.
we can live on opposite sides of the neighborhood or the town or the city. I guess South Lake is a city, and still have this common.
It's like a college town.
Yeah, it's
like
like a community.
Yeah.
Which is hence why I was like, wow, you know, you've got to live in South Lake or, you know, support it and be involved in it to get support in return, you know. So.
And so can you walk us through like when you first had the idea versus, and like
To
what,
bring it to fruition.
Well, you know, once I started teaching, like I immediately knew that I wanted to own my own studio. Like I just always had that like thought. I'd be any studio I've ever gone to, I would just always had this like thought in the back of my mind, like, God, I could do it so much better. You know, that sounds like, oh, you know, whatever. But I have like, when I was very little, I always said I was going to own my own business or be my own boss. I don't think I ever talked about like having kids or like having a family. Like it was always just about like being a CEO or like, which obviously I had, which obviously I had 3 kids, and I loved my time at home. But it was, I mean, I started teaching, and then I kind of started talking with the owner of Beyond, and the whole franchise thing came about. And then as I kind of moved through that process and just kind of, I don't know, looking at everything on a broad spectrum, I was like, I don't want to work for anyone.
Yeah.
I don't want a franchise. I don't want to have to answer to anybody. I don't want to have to like ultimately, what does a franchise mean? You're just like buying a brand. I'm like, I can create a brand, and then I can do whatever I want with it. I don't have to ask permission. So it was, I would say the idea came about 8 years ago, and then I always told my husband, and he just recently in the last couple years kind of stepped back from his corporate job and has more time to help say the duties that I used to do at home. So he was, and so it was almost just kind of like the perfect like alignment of like, I was ready, our youngest was kind of able to go to school 4 days a week, and he was able to like not be at the office, 12 hours a day. So it kind of just aligned. And last summer, well, the last thing I had to do was get certified for yoga. I mean, I've taken yoga for years, but I had never done like a YTT. And so my favorite yoga studio in Dallas was hosting a yoga teacher training in January of 22, I guess that would be, or 23.
I remember we would like go from tennis, we would talk about being a yoga teacher, but I don't think we knew anything about your studio.
Yeah, well, it was kind of like the last thing that needed to like happen, because opening the studio, I said, I need to be able to teach all the formats. So just in case I can't find instructors, like I can always be a sub or I can always do it. And so once I got that certification, it was kind of like, okay, like what's next? And so that kind of got the ball rolling, and then we started looking at locations, and we stumbled upon our location kind of like by mishap. My husband was kind of officing up in the Fury office on that 4th floor. And so Jeff was like, well, have you ever thought about, I have a space downstairs, have you ever thought about there? And I was like, oh, I don't know, it's like a building.
Who's Jeff?
So Jeff owns the Fury building.
Okay.
Sorry. So he owns the building and would just like talk with Mark, by passing by. And so it kind of, I was like, okay, let's look at it. And then I got to thinking, and I'm like, that's kind of a perfect location. We have a Starbucks right there. Yeah. It's pretty easy for, easy. We have a parking garage, we have the front parking, and then there's that turnaround. So even for y'all coming from Westlake, like you don't have to sit at a light. Most of the time I would say you're rushing to your workout class. So if you have to like, I don't know, go in and out, or hard to find parking or anything. So I was like, okay, you don't have to wait at a light. So if you've got like those 2 minutes to get to class, like you can just kind of zoom around. So yeah, the location kind of fell in our lap, and I was like, yes, let's, like, this is it. This is the location. So I mean, we signed our lease in October, and we were open
2023.
Okay.
Yeah, 2023, and we were open. I originally wanted to hit like January. When we first started looking, I was like, we need to open in January and get all of the like
New Year's resolutions,
that sort of thing. Yeah. And then it was like, no way was that going to happen. And then it was like, okay, spring break, like we'll open. So anyways, I was like, we have to open before Memorial Day, before everyone leaves on vacation. So we did. We hit that goal. We opened May 18th,
And is your husband your business partner when you say we?
Yeah, I should. I don't know. It's just out of habit. I should say I. But yes, he has helped me so much that it's easier probably for me to say we. But yeah, it's just us two. Again, like as far as investors or I don't know, I didn't want anything. And we, we're luckily able to do it on our own. And so when you're opening your first business, a lot of people probably don't have that ability to just be your own investor. And that was something that I didn't want to open the studio until we could do that.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to have to ask permission or, I feel like the fitness world is just evolving constantly. And that's the great thing about our studio is that we'll continually evolve with, different formats and stuff like that. So yes, so then we hit the ground running on May 18th, and we're almost October 18th, so 5 months in, and it's been great. It's been a whirlwind, but we're here and it's going good. So
I keep running into people I know every time I go there. Like everyone, I feel like I know in town goes there. Everyone loves it. You've done a fantastic job with that. So, okay. How did you balance being a mom, getting yoga teacher training, getting the studio up and running, and just like the day-to-day of everything? A mom of 3 and little ones. You have, what ages are your kids now?
Teddy's 8. He just turned 8 last month. Thomas is 6, and Palmer is 3.5. Yeah. I guess
they're in elementary for the older two, right?
Yes, yeah, Thomas started, and that was kind of the whole thing. It was like, okay, well, 2 will be going into elementary, so that's at least, a good chunk of the day. And then Palmer was able to do the 4 days a week. She could technically go 5, but yeah. So as far as balancing it, it just comes down to like planning. Like I was gone for a good chunk of the weekends and that was kind of the first time I'd ever done anything for myself as far as like a training or, quote unquote work. So it was kind of like, okay, I talked with my husband about it, and it was like, can you like take over some of the stuff so I can go do this to ultimately have this other goal? And he was really supportive, and luckily I have this gem of a nanny who has been with us very part-time for the last couple years, I guess 3 years since Palmer was born. And I just kind of kept telling her, I'm like, just stick around for a little bit longer, and eventually I'll make you, full-time between kids and the studio. So luckily she helped out a lot as far as like kids stuff. And it was just, okay, planning, like setting uniforms out, like literally like, here's the notepad with where they need to be, what color jersey they are. And it's just literally the night before is, I think what got me through is just like having everything planned, having all of my stuff ready by the door. And so, you know, able to get out pretty quickly and hope that as far as uniforms and stuff, everything was set. But
so you would say that a big part of your routine was making sure was like started the night before, and did you write everything down on paper? Did you
have any like apps or tools or tricks that really helped you that you would recommend to anyone else who's busy and like feeling scattered and trying to organize themselves?
Like I there probably are, but I am not a very like tech savvy person. So no, just like my notes and my phone. And I have never really been big on like putting stuff into my calendar. You know, my husband would always be like, well, it's not happening until it's in my calendar. And I would always be like, oh, that's so annoying. Like, oh, I told you about it. You should remember. And then now it's like, you have to schedule everything.
By the calendar
like,
now.
like personal agenda that had every little box she needed and every little, you know, so I was like, oh, maybe I should do that. In all my free time, maybe I should do that. But I think as long as you can like have it written down somewhere, because I think our brains get so overstimulated with everything that you think you can remember it, but ultimately you can't. So yes, lists and calendars is what got me through that kind of first part. And then definitely now, as far as our day-to-days, everything is on the calendar. I have one on my phone that we share, and then I have just a good old glass one on the wall that I handwrite.
Home calendar.
Yes, as far as games and practices and stuff like that.
I bet your kids are probably in a lot of sports too, right?
Yes. Yes, too many.
That will take over your entire life anyway. This is the first time we've had no fall sport.
Well, that's like sounds
I
heavenly.
actually have a fall. It's amazing. I don't think it'll ever happen again until we're out of the house.
No.
But it just so happened that we did not sign him up for baseball this time. And he started doing tennis again. And then he's doing a little bit of like basketball once a week with like a coach. And Audrey started doing volleyball at school, which was a game changer because their games and practices are during the week at school. And so it's been fantastic. It's been a total game changer. Oh my gosh. And I feel like that's how it was mostly when we were growing up, you know? Things have changed so much where now there's so much extra time devoted to like out of school sports at a younger age. It's so competitive.
Yeah.
And Southlake is such a sporty town too that everyone has their kids in multiple sports. It's very competitive and everyone kind of, you know, running around here and there all the time. So speaking of schedules, how early do you have to wake up to get all this done as supermom?
Can you walk us through like a typical day
Yeah,
for you? So
absolutely.
you said meditating. You'd love to learn more about like things you do for self-care as well.
So I am like, you could ask like all my friends, I am like a guru for like wellness, health, like all of that. Like I don't really listen to any podcast except for like health and wellness podcasts. And so it's kind of sounds lame, but I don't know. I would say I've always been kind of like on that health path since college. Like, I mean, you can't really say probably any of us were healthy in college, but basically probably when I started like finding Pilates and stuff like that about 8 years ago, I was just kind of on track for the health and wellness. So as far as a day in life right now, I wake up every morning between 4:15 and 4:30. And that's because I teach every...
What time do you go to bed?
What time do I want to go to bed? Or I try to be in bed by 9. So try to get that 7-ish hour mark. Obviously 8's kind of ideal, but kids, you know, with sports and everything, I mean, I'm lucky if they're like in bed by 8. So yeah, I try to be in bed, like asleep, like mouth tape on, like everything by...
I love that you mouth tape too.
I'll go with, that's part of the little routine, but yeah, by like 9 o'clock, that's ideal. So yeah, wake up at 4:30. I mean, how detailed do you want me to get? Like,
Tell us all about your day.
Because our listeners are also moms. Who have careers.
I mean, I do like, you know, I guess a lot of the little wellness hacks that I've kind of learned over the last couple years, but so I wake up, so the night before I make like 30 ounces of lemon water. I have a mason jar, I squeeze an entire lemon in there, and then that sits on my nightstand, so it's like ready for me in the morning. So I'll wake up, I take that, you know, into the bathroom with me. I'll drink the room temperature lemon water, ideally 30 ounces before you do anything else. And then just typical face wash, all that stuff. Because it's so early, I have tried to get in the habit of little eye patches. So I have several that I'm trying out.
Tell us if you have like one brand that stands out that you love or something.
I love the Goop ones.
Really? I haven't tried those.
They're more of like the brightening.
Okay. I'm just writing it down. This is important.
I mean, I've loved Gwyneth Paltrow, and I've tried Goop like on and off, but I love the Goop under eye patches, and then the Goop scrub. So I do just like a regular face wash and then put the little scrub, and I don't know, just kind of wakes you up, the exfoliation.
Yeah, that's nice.
And then, so I'll wear those, and I usually, depending on my class, whether I'm in the infrared room or not, I usually don't wear makeup to work. So that's nice that I don't have to do that in the morning. But the night before, I'll have like what I'm wearing, and then depending on what I'm teaching that day, all my extra changes of clothes if I'm in the hot room. So like on Wednesday, I teach in the hot room, not in the hot room, and then in the hot room. So that's like 3
I didn't even think about that.
changes of clothes. So I make sure that I at least have all of that ready. I don't like prepare, I guess, too much the night before for much else. But yeah, at least I have all of that so I can roll out of bed, do everything, and then head out the door. I get my ice roller. So I've got my ice roller in the freezer. I grab that, and then I take 3 cups with me every day to work. One for my like water and everything I put in it throughout the day. I make my coffee at work, and like a shaker bottle for a protein shake. And then, so I usually teach at 5:30, and then some mornings I am able to come back home and take the kids to school. So on Tuesdays, Thursdays, I do try to come back and at least see them in the morning. So that's been the biggest transition, is not being able to be there in the mornings and
to school.
Yes. So I don't know. Some of my friends are like, well, mornings are so chaotic. It's kind of probably nice. And I'm like, oh, that's true. But again, luckily it's Mark, or Maritza is my nanny, and she'll 3 nights a week she'll spend the night, so Mark can go take a 5:30 a.m. class. Because there's kind of a bigger guy following in the morning classes.
I've heard the morning class is all the husbands come
It
to.
is,
I've never made it that early, so I don't know this.
Yes, so he's him and his buddy. I'd say there's probably about 10 of them that go to like the 5:30, like 8 to 10, that go to the 5:30 classes. And so his whole thing was like, well, I want to, still be able to go. So luckily she has a very flexible schedule and can come help. And I think one day obviously we'll be able to leave them that early in the morning when they're still
Yes,
sleeping, but
yeah.
being that she's 3.5, I can't really.
Yeah. You're on your own, kid.
Yeah, we'll see you. You're probably sleeping, but just don't open the door. No. But so then I will teach. So I try not to teach past noon. So our last kind of morning class is at noon. So as far as like nutrition and stuff, I have like a plethora of supplements that I take kind of throughout the morning. But I will have, when I get to the studio, I take aminos and creatine. So I'll do a scoop of aminos, a scoop of creatine in one of the 3 water bottles. And I'll usually sip on that throughout my first class. And then I make my coffee. I have a Jura at home, which I love the Jura. It's ideal. But I haven't gotten one at the studio yet. So I actually drink instant coffee, which sounds funny.
Really?
But
Like
it's...
Folgers?
No.
Do you have a brand you love?
Yeah, well, it's the only one that I would use.
One that like...
It's Laird.
Oh, okay. I have his creamers and I'm obsessed with the Laird Hamilton
So
creamers.
that's the creamer that I use at home. And then my sister-in-law, actually, Diane, who you know, she was like, oh, I swear by this instant coffee. And I was like, I don't know about that.
Instant coffee sounds convenient.
It's so I just got a little like teapot and an electric one. And so I make that at the studio, and I put all different sorts of things in it. My concierge doctor that I was talking with her the other day, she was like, I told her everything I put in my coffee. She was like, that sounds disgusting. And I was like, it's actually like the best thing in the world. And I
What
feel
do you
like,
put in there? Like
well,
butter?
so no, but I mean, you could totally put like ghee or something in it. So it's the Laird creamer. So it has all like the adaptogens, and it's coconut creamer. So it's got like the good fats in it. And then Symbiotica is another brand that
I've heard so much about that. They keep
Gels?
hitting me with ads on Instagram,
Yeah.
but I don't know enough about it.
Oh, I take like
Do you
probably,
love it?
I love it. I love all their stuff.
Really?
And have you ever been to Go Organic Eats in Colleyville?
Yes.
Do they have
been
that?
there? Yeah.
Oh, I love that place. I feel like if you love wellness, it's right up
Yeah.
your alley.
I should go try
So you put that, you just squeeze it
So,
back in.
well, they came out recently with a, it's a coffee creamer. So, and honestly, I have no idea what's in it, but it's just all sorts of.
Where do you get it from?
I order all their stuff online. So
Okay.
I have just like the recurring auto ship for let's see if I can remember. I use their vitamin C. Their vitamin C packets is like one of those squeeze packets. I use their glutathione.
I love glutathione.
The creamer is great. So they market it right now. They say it's like nature's Adderall. So whatever adaptogens are in
Is
it,
it
it's
like the mushroom blend that helps you
L-theanine.
focus? The
it's got the
lion's mane?
L-theanine.
Oh.
So it's got a bunch of different things in it.
I did hear that, like them.
Yes, the lion's
yeah.
mane is supposed to help you focus.
So that's all in like the Laird, and so that the Laird has like the mushrooms, and then I believe the Symbiotica one does too. So I put the Laird, the Symbiotica, raw organic honey.
Oh, that sounds good.
And then Scion cinnamon, and then just froth it up.
Nice.
So it's
I love
delicious.
that.
What does cinnamon do for you, or do you just like the taste?
Well, the Scion cinnamon is really good for your blood flow and inflammation, that kind of stuff.
Oh, douse me in that.
So do you notice a difference when you don't take it? Like put all that stuff in?
Or do you ever not take it?
Well, it's funny because I just went to Italy and I didn't take anything with me.
Yes.
And yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's different. It is one of those things like, is it a placebo? Is it not?
Right.
Like, I don't know. Because I didn't take much when I went to Italy. And I will say, like, I felt fine. But then again, I was like
You're also in
drinking
Italy.
and eating all day
Yeah.
and literally did not work out.
Yeah.
Like at all. And it was great. But only for a week because I was like dying to work out when I got back. But so yes, I do think, and then my concierge doctor, like we run tests all the time. And so like we just did a micronutrient test and I am low in like vitamin C and stuff like that. So
you knew what to supplement with.
yeah, so I do feel like if you like yes, I do. I do believe in it. I'll just go ahead and
That's
say
awesome.
make that my
I've been wanting
answer.
to do a micronutrient panel. Dr. Barker actually was
Is that the
suggesting
hair
I do
panel
one.
or is that?
No, it's just
No.
blood.
Yeah.
blood? Okay.
But they test all these various things that they normally don't test in your regular annual blood work. So it's like much more specific and broken down. You can tell what you're low in, what you need more of, what you be high in. You know.
Yeah, it's a great test. And then
Can we walk everyone through what a concierge doctor is, just in case they don't know?
so I guess there's probably a lot of different takes on it, but the concierge doctor I go to, I think concierge doctors in general is just a doctor who doesn't take health insurance. And well, maybe some do. That's what I'm saying. Some might be different, but they're a doctor that are on call all the time. And so
on call all the time. Interesting.
And with my doctor, she is.
You know Dr. Lindsay?
No, I got a Dr. Naidu.
Okay.
Shout out Dr. Naidu. She's great. So I right now I go to executive medicine in South Lake, and I don't know if I would be there if she wasn't there, because I think you have to find a doctor that you connect with, and
Yeah.
she's a DO, so she practices Western medicine as well as American medicine. So she's definitely a believer in both, but I'm more of like the holistic route until you can't, until the holistic route isn't working, and then you need to
I
take.
think honestly, like a holistic route works really well for long-term things, for inflammation, for autoimmune stuff, because there aren't really great medications to address those issues. Those are more systemic, long-term issues. Like, you really have to get to the root cause. And a lot of times, like Western medicine doesn't take the time or do the proper testing to get to the root cause. It's really great.
Can't, because insurance won't just
insurance
test
won't
you
cover
for
it.
no reason.
And I think that's why
Yeah.
if you can find a good
Not no reason.
concierge doctor or someone who does more integrative approach, it's really nice, because they really dig deep to try to figure out how to fix those things.
Yeah, I think that, obviously there's some diseases out there that require certain pharmaceutical drugs, but I am a firm believer in lifestyle and getting to the root cause, like you said, and not just putting a Band-Aid over it. I feel like you go to just a regular doctor and tell them your symptoms, and they're like, oh, okay, well, here's this, X drug, and you can take it, and you're gonna feel better, and like whatever, and it's just like masking the whole problem.
Kind of covers up the symptoms instead of getting the root cause and solving the problem.
So I started seeing a functional medicine
So
doctor.
she's functional concierge doctor, which is kind of hard to find. But yes, functional is huge as well.
And made a huge difference, because I have some hormone issues that it's like a process to manage. Are you preemptively going to this doctor to kind of prevent, or are you trying to treat anything specific?
No, so I kind of always dealt with like digestive issues growing up, and I always laugh because I'm like, I'm pretty sure I caused it on myself, because I drink milk for
I can't do
forever
that
and
anymore.
ever, like literally from when I was a child till literally out of college, I would drink water and milk. And
Just like a tall glass of milk?
yes, just I mean, like
They told us to do it in the 90s.
They did tell us to do that in the 90s.
which honestly you could probably
Milk doesn't
still
want to
do with the right kind of milk now. But I mean,
Yeah.
I was not drinking A2 hormone-free organic
Right.
milk and call.
Raw
You know what I
milk,
mean?
yeah.
So no, I don't know. I probably was born with it, but I just always had like stomach issues. And then once I was done having babies, I was like, okay, once I got off of birth control, I got terrible hormonal acne. Like, never had it in my life. And then as soon as I got off, it was just, through all my pregnancies, it was terrible. And I do not wish that on anyone, because it's just like such a punch to your, your self-confidence.
Yes.
And you don't feel like, everyone's like, oh, you're glowing. And I'm like, no, I'm not glowing. I have terrible acne right now. So anyways, after I was done having kids, I was like, I am going to figure out, like, and get my skin back. And so I wanted they didn't necessarily have to be a DO, but I wanted like a functional doctor who would help me with, because I mean, I was doing trial and error with all these different supplements and stuff. And so I wanted a doctor that wouldn't look at that and be like, oh, well, you think like,
just go Accutane.
you think like Golden Seal's going to help you, and it's like, well, I mean, yeah, I do. So anyways, I went primarily just to figure out, was it like hormonal, was it digestive, like what did I need to do, where was I missing this piece? So yeah, I think it is more of like a luxury to be able to have a concierge doctor, but in today's world, like maybe have like the lowest insurance that you can, health insurance for like any like catastrophe if you need something like that. But based off of like what you pay annually for probably like top insurance in unfortunately America's shitty healthcare system, you could probably get like a decent like concierge doctor.
If you also think about long-term staying healthy versus trying to heal yourself from being sick, if you are proactive in your health and do make sure you have a good lifestyle and you're doing as much as you can proactively, I think in many cases, not all obviously, but I think it can help you stay healthier longer and spend less over the long-term course of your life if you stay healthier, if you're working out, if you're managing your weight, if you're eating healthy, if you're making good choices. I think it makes a big difference.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think you could kind of connect that back with like COVID. I mean, I don't know if we're allowed to say COVID on this podcast.
Oh, yeah. We're explicit. We can even curse. No, we struggled. We had to like choose whether we were going to be explicit or not. And we're like, sometimes curse words just might fly out of our mouth, so it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think that our population could have vitamin D, zinc,
vitamin D is a huge
vitamin
deficiency.
C. I mean, it's just these little things that you can implement in your life that can make a huge difference. So circling back to supplements and stuff, there are some very vital supplements that I think every single person should be on. And like, I don't know, I'm not.
What are your favorite three? If you had to only pick like 3 supplements you could only take, what would they be? Like your 3 most essential?
Vitamin D, vitamin C, and zinc probably. I think you should add a 4th one in there, and B12 or some sort of B complex. Yeah, I think if you could, I'm also a huge fan of Sovereign Silver. So like colloidal silver.
What is it?
It's called colloidal silver, but it's
my dad was obsessed with it.
What is it? I've never heard
so
of
it's
it.
basically this, it's kind of what they used to use back in the day for like an antibiotic, quote unquote. So it's this liquid.
Dropper,
yeah, it's like a liquid.
Gel form for like wounds also, which is fantastic for burns. I keep one like for burns too. It's amazing.
Okay.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's so I don't know. It could be a placebo effect, but you just take a little bit every day, and like I give it to my kids. Like my kids take all those supplements I just said. Probiotic. I think everyone should be on a probiotic. And then so I do a little cup for them every night, and then just top it with some silver.
So you just do a cup of like do you take these in liquid form? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, because
Do you like the way it tastes?
Yeah.
Do you have those sprays, like the Garden of Eating or whatever, that organic spray? Those are my favorite for my kids.
I'm motivated to go to Sprouts right now. I'm gonna go right after
telling
this.
you, I like
Buying list after this.
but that would be like, if anyone's listening, like what should I be on? Because it is, you go in and you're like, well, what do I do? I like the lipospheric, so that's kind of what you want to look for as far as like the liquids, like the gels versus pills. And like, I don't know, I just think pills can kind of get a lot, and they don't sit well. I feel like liquids sit a little bit better on your stomach than pills, but
I'm on a lot of pills now, a lot of supplements, like a lot of vitamins, and it is a pain in the butt.
I know, and that's
take this one.
I will say I take a lot of pills. You should see my pill thing that I take on like trips. My girlfriends are like, "Oh, what the hell are you like?"
I'm like some sickly person when I go on vacation because I have this giant pill thing, but it's like just my day. It's like I take probiotics, magnesium.
Oh, I'm a huge fan of magnesium.
Yeah, magnesium.
Honestly, if I had to
What are your
pick,
thoughts on NAD? Because that's like.
I have actually never done NAD.
It's the building block to glutathione, though. So if you're doing glutathione,
yeah,
it's kind of similar.
Yeah, I think NAD is. I think you can take it in so many different forms, and I've had so many friends do it, and I don't know. I feel like a lot of people just don't feel good when they're doing it because it's just such a like shock to your system. And
The
like,
drip.
The drip.
Yeah.
And I think what happens is, what I've kind of listened to or like researched is like you're supposed to take, if you get a drip, you're supposed to take it at such a slow pace. Like you should be able to like have the drip and like fall asleep.
Oh, wow.
And where some people get the drip and it's like an hour and you feel nauseous. Like my sister-in-law said that she feels like flu-like stomach, and I'm like, okay, I just don't have time to feel like
I
that.
feel bad.
So if it were like, I don't know, you take it once a year or something, I would totally do it. But I have not done NAD. I do NAC whenever I'm
What's
sick.
NAC?
So NAC is the, oh gosh, it's like the histine.
Cysteine? Is it
Yes,
okay.
yeah.
Oh gosh, I can't remember the full
I know
name
it
of
is the C is cysteine though.
Yeah.
But it's good for your like lungs. So if you're ever getting like congested or get a cold, I'll usually like kind of mega dose on that a couple times a day. But yeah, so basically right now with my concierge doctor, she kind of boiled it down to a little bit of both. So I just turned 35 and my my testosterone is like insanely low, like almost non-existent, which is very interesting. Yeah.
Are you on the cream?
I haven't done it yet because I am just so anti change anything yet. But the more I like read about it, and I was actually talking to Venus and Sarah yesterday after class, and I don't know. So I don't really have I'm not like super tired, or so I haven't really seen like a lot of the like
symptoms
of testosterone. And because I'm trying to figure out still the hormonal acne, I'm petrified to get on it.
Yes, I've heard women who go on it and then it flares acne.
Yes. So I'm like, I feel like we're trying to combat something else, and then I take that. So I don't know. I do think in the next couple of years I'll probably like try it because I don't know.
Were you high in anything else?
That's what after talking to them yesterday, I meant to go home and look at my estrogen and progesterone, but I want to say my progesterone is low too. And then my estrogen might be like
Have you tried the DHEA supplement plus like pregnenolone or something?
No, but I'm not right now. I'm not taking DHEA, and in my micronutrient, she's trying to get me off of some supplements and then like
before you have like 500 things in it.
Well, she's trying to take away some and then add in the essentials, which DHEA is. It's like your amino acids, so it's like your omegas.
Yeah.
Sorry, not your amino acids, your omegas. So I think DHEA is a big one for everyone, but women especially. Yeah.
It's interesting.
So we've talked about supplements. We talked about your coffee. Now, what happens after?
We've only gotten to know.
I'm telling you. Well, so just a little snippet. My girlfriends who have been trying to lose, like everyone, all my friends were like just now done with like having babies, and everyone's trying to like, okay, so now I want to like lose weight, and what should I do? And so we laughed because I made like a PDF of like all the supplements of what you should take, and like the aminos I take, the creatine, and like all that kind of stuff. Because again, like.
Did you notice a big difference with creatine?
I love creatine.
Really? I've heard that from people. I tried taking...
Just protein?
No, so creatine is like, it goes hand in hand with protein. So it's kind of like a building block for protein. But what I've read recently, or I should always say listened to recently, is that it's great like for clarity and like mentally too. So they're like, if you ever get like a really shitty night of sleep, like take an extra scoop of creatine that morning, and like it can help your cognitive like throughout the day.
Do you have a brand that you like?
I do. Right now I am taking Kion, Kion. I think it's called getkion.com. But I take Kion. They actually have really good clean coffee.
Oh.
They have the aminos that I take. So there's like 16, I believe 12 or 16.
So you really like this brand. It's like a good one.
Essential amino acids, and it tastes really good. So creatine doesn't taste like anything. The aminos have good flavors, and so.
And you just put creatine in your
in my water.
In your water.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I interrupted you. What were you going to say about creatine?
Oh, I tried taking one brand and I felt so much more swollen or waterlogged. I don't know if it was just the brand or if it would go away, but it was like in gummy form. So I don't think it was a very pure form of it. I think it was just for people who want to pop a couple of them during the day. And I don't know if it was something in the gummy or not, but I keep meaning to revisit it. So I want to try to order this.
Momentous is another good brand that I used to take. I just ended up switching over to Kion because it was with my aminos. So now I just order it together.
Yeah. Too many auto ships.
No, I'm like not a fan of auto ships, and then until I get off of it, I'm like, I'm out, you know?
I
need to order it.
Yes.
But that's how I ended up with like 50 rolls of toilet paper.
I have so many of those mushroom coffee because I keep forgetting and I keep just putting down the frequency. And once they double shipped it too, I have bags upon bags of that mushroom
coffee.
adaptogen coffee.
So let's see. So then, so I'll teach in the morning.
Do you do breakfast? Sorry.
No, so I was just about to get to that. So I do fast. I'm a big fan of fasting.
Like intermittent fasting? Do you try to do 17 hours or?
Yeah, how many hours?
Well, so it kind of backfired on me a little bit just because, so when I wasn't teaching in the morning, I would probably stop eating at like 7 p.m. and I could probably go till like noon the next day and be like totally fine. And I would prefer it that way. But then recently my like glucose levels, I guess I'm talking about my concierge doctor so much because I just did my annual in August. And so now we're trying to like combat whatever we found there. But my glucose levels were off, which is very interesting because, or I guess this tidbit is interesting, that over like 40% of the population is pre-diabetic. And a lot of people like don't understand what that means. They're like, well, you know, I hear that so much now. Like, what does that mean? And it's basically that your like glucose levels and your insulin levels are like out of whack. So I'm a fit person. I eat healthy, and I was like pre-diabetic. Who would have thought? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so anyways, this last time I had gotten my glucose levels better by intermittent fasting. Like it really helped me in the beginning, but then I started teaching and waking up so early, and that I think I was basically going too long without food. And so my body was holding on to what I was eating the night before, because she was like, well, what are you eating like a ton of carbs? Like, I don't understand, you know, what, and I was like, well,
do you have
no,
history of diabetes in your family? Like,
no. And it's not one of those like, oh, you're going to get diabetes. It's just like, I feel like a lot of people live in this like kind of middle area of where it's like, I can't lose weight, but I'm not really like, I'm not obese, but I just like, I can't figure out why I feel sluggish. And so I think that's kind of where that little like
your
marker.
blood sugar levels are just kind of not where they're supposed to be. It can really impact your energy.
Especially I think as we get into our 40s and 50s as women, when we start to go through menopause and stuff. She was like, we have to get this in check now before your body starts like kind of tanking everything else. So anyways, so now I don't fast as long. So I try to have some sort of shake, protein shake by like 7 or 8 a.m.
Okay.
And I'm not a big eater in the morning, so I was like, okay, I need something just that I can have at the studio, shake it up. So Symbiotica has a great like vegan protein, but
with protein shakes, I've never tried a protein shake. I mean,
really?
I'm sure.
Okay, Francesca is like the most. But she always looks perfect, like weight wise. And I was talking about, yeah, gosh, you know, my weight fluctuates and really depends, and I can't really get. I was like, do you like, right, you can relate? Like, she's like, no, my weight always stays the same. Like,
well, that's amazing.
How do you do this? And she eats like bread and like pastries and stuff, and I
just eat till I'm full. I know that's the right thing to say, but
no, I mean, I think that's great. I think that if you eat until you're full, then and you can sustain, you know, how you feel and how you look. Like,
I work out.
Yeah.
You haven't been to Form? Have you been to Form?
No, I'm not.
I keep telling her she has to try.
So yeah, some sort of shake. Symbiotica has a good green. It's like got all your greens and everything under the sun in it. But it started hurting my stomach. So I also have like a lot of sensitivities. So I couldn't take that one anymore. So now I'm on Keon's protein, and it's like, and I actually don't take whey protein a lot, but this one is so clean that I was like, well, I'll try it. But it's literally just whey protein, like organic, vanilla. So it's like 3 or 4 ingredients. Where you get, you know, you can get those. A lot of the like powder protein has so much crap in it. So I think as far as if you're looking for protein, 5 ingredients like max. Unless you're doing like the Symbiotica one that has like all your greens, and stuff like that. But anything with like
Preservatives, fillers.
Yes, all the fillers. It's
Yeah.
just so much filler, and I don't think you need it. Like this one tastes great, so I'll do that, and I usually mix it with coconut water for the added kind of like electrolytes in that.
Do you have
and
a
then
favorite brand?
I do the Kirkland brand. So another thing with coconut water is you just want coconut water.
It's true. It's not like they grow organic coconuts. It's just a coconut is a coconut.
No, it's
Yeah.
organic.
It is organic?
Yeah,
Oh,
I believe
was
so.
Like, you just get them off the tree. How can they get them to you? It's organic.
Well, I'm pretty
I guess
sure
they're not
it's
sprayed, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
The
okay. That
one
makes
I think
sense.
the Kirkland is organic coconut water, and that's it. There's a lot of coconut waters you look at the back, and it's like
A whole bunch of other
Yeah.
stuff
Other
in
stuff in
there. Yeah, it's so
Um,
irritating. You have to be so careful about reading food labels nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, it's shocking sometimes.
yeah.
When I look at things.
And then
Yes.
I'll drink some sort of electrolytes. I like Elements electrolytes
Every day.
Oh yeah, especially being in the hot
Being in
room.
the hot
like
room.
Yeah.
I feel like I can only do it once a week. It reminds me when I used to play tennis in the summer, and I would like, I think I got really low on some minerals and stuff.
I think you have to work your way up. I think the infrared heat is like so beneficial on so many
Oh my
different
gosh,
levels
I feel
that
amazing after. But
Yeah.
I sweat so much.
yeah. I mean, there's some people that do it daily and have no issues, but I do think if you're having like a headache or anything like that afterwards, I think you just have to kind of
Make
like
sure
build
you're
up to
getting
it.
this stuff.
You have to drink lots of water, lots of electrolytes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll usually do, regardless of whether I'm in there or not, I'll usually have Cure, C-U-R-E, Cure is a good brand for electrolytes too. They have, it's not, Element has 1,000 milligrams of sodium, which
It is
is
so
a
salty.
lot.
Some of the flavors, like the
Yeah.
raspberry salt flavor, I used to do it when we were at tennis all the time in the summer, and oh my gosh, sometimes if you don't put enough water with it,
You have to
it's
drink
like,
it in a ton of water. Yeah, but I think it depends. Like my husband can drink like 2 of them a day, and he's totally fine. But for me, if I do an Element, I'll separate it into like 2. I'll drink like
Yes.
one half in 30 ounces, and then the other half in 30 ounces. But yeah, I think that's huge too. Is we were always told no salt. Like don't eat salt, and then it's like
It's
all the
essential.
rage now.
Yeah.
You
Get
just
all
have to eat the
salt.
right salt. Eat the right
Yes,
salt, right?
eat the right salt. Yeah, and then I'll eat lunch. So around like noon or 1, depending on when I'm done teaching, I'll eat some sort of protein. Protein like
Do you prep your lunch the night before? Do you order in like sweet greens or?
I guess depending on the day, but I don't DoorDash a lot, but I will DoorDash lunch. And yes, like kava, crispin greens, what else? All those, either a salad or some sort of bowl. But if I'm at home, it sounds crazy, but I'll just eat like a bunch of like ground beef, like ground meat. Whether it's venison or beef, there's Force of Nature is the brand that I order from. They ship it to you, and it's like it's got all of the like ancestral organs in it. So it's
really
like
good for your body
yeah,
too,
so
yeah.
it's like the liver and the heart and like all that stuff. It's like all like ground in, and it tastes great. So I'll literally just eat that with garlic or onions or like some vegetables in it. But I'm a huge fan of just keeping it simple. Like it's boring. If you want to eat clean and healthy, like kind of just it's monotonous. So, and then I have to pick Palmer up at 2, and then it's pretty much kid stuff after that.
So you go on mom duty after.
Mom duty, yeah. We do have evening classes, 4:45 and 5:45 right now, but I only added those once I was able to hire people to teach them because I was willing to give up my mornings with the kids, but it was very essential that I didn't. I wanted to be able to the one who maybe I couldn't take them to school every day, but I can pick them up or be at the house when they get off the bus or pick up Palmer from school. So and then the evenings are just crazy with practices literally every day. And I do try and cook dinner, whether it's, we have probably like 10 things we cycle through.
Do you meal plan? Like, do you say on Sunday, like,
I should.
You just kind of, yeah.
I should. But again, it's like, we have this like soup recipe that we eat once a week. Like we do beef stroganoff. We do like, I don't know, something with protein that I know my kids will eat. Like my middle is a pretty picky eater. And so it kind of unfortunately revolves around him right now. I'm like, what will he eat that we all actually like too? So I would say on Wednesdays we have date night. So every week we have a babysitter who comes.
I love that.
So they do get, so we go out and then they get mac and cheese and hot dogs.
They probably love it. It's like
or
their
chicken
favorite dinner of
nuggets.
the week.
Yeah.
Why Wednesday? Is it just because that's when there's no practice?
That was, so for the longest time it was Thursdays, which I feel like Thursdays just always kind of like a good day, but this fall, Wednesday worked the best. It had the earliest ending of practice, which is 6. So then we're usually out the door by like 6:30, because I can't be out too late. I have to be out
that's
very
right,
early.
because you have to be back in
So,
bed.
yeah.
Do you drink alcohol like during the week or at all?
I definitely drink alcohol. I try not to during the week.
Okay.
For me, it's like I probably get enough of it on the weekends, but no. It just doesn't like, I'm not a like craver. I'm not like, oh my God, I need like a glass of wine, or I need, now some nights, yes, some nights. But no, I really try not to. So Wednesdays when we go to dinner, I might have like a margarita or something. But honestly, more recently, we usually go to like sushi, like oishi or something, and then maybe have one drink, and then we'll go get like a foot rub, and then like
Sounds great.
call it a night. We're really crazy these days, but
I know.
but yeah, it's I don't know. I try not to.
Yeah.
No, it's not like, I'm not a very like absolutely not person. Like if I want a burger in the middle of the week, like I'll have a burger. Like I feel like when you tell yourself I cannot have that, your mind like tricks you and you're like, I need that.
Yeah. I feel like it's the 80-20 rule too. I mean, if 80% of the time you have everything systematized, you know you're getting your protein, you're taking your supplements, you're working out, you're eating well, then if there's a time when you really want something, I mean, there's no harm in actually enjoying,
just indulging
things,
on occasion.
Guilty pleasures was one of our questions we were going to ask you. So do you have a particular guilty pleasure that if you're having a down day, or if you have some time to relax, or if you're on vacation, something you do love indulging in?
Let's see. Like we're talking like food wise?
Anything. I mean, sometimes my guilty pleasure is like really bad reality TV. If I just happen to have a bunch of extra free time and I don't have anything I need to do, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to turn on the Secret Lives of Mormon Housewives and just like watch how crazy they are.
No, I guess if we're talking shows and stuff, if say like if Mark is out of town and I like, unfortunately I just go to bed, so I really don't get to watch a lot of TV anymore. But I am an avid bachelorette. And now I haven't started the new golden one with the Golden Bachelorette, but so guilty pleasure is definitely that, and Housewives, Beverly Hills, and Orange County, which again I'm not caught up on.
The originals, right?
Yeah, I know. And then I'm a huge Dancing with the Stars fan.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you ever dance? You did gymnastics, right?
Yeah, I cheered. No, I never did dance. I don't know. I just love it. It's on right now.
It's very entertaining to watch.
It is the only show that you can like
too.
watch and be like cry like happy tears and sad tears and like I don't know. It's
and when
funny.
the kids are small, I feel like you have to have shows on that are appropriate too. It's like,
Oh, I know.
I don't want my daughter seeing anything that's going on in the Secret Lives of Mormon Housewives.
Yes, we're Real Housewives.
She has to be out doing something with her friends for me to watch it in the bedroom, away from the kids. Yeah. But like, that's a show where the kids can enjoy it and watch it too. And same with like The Voice and stuff. Like, there's nothing really inappropriate.
Yes, exactly.
About it, so.
Palmer loves dance right now, and so I'm like,
oh, nice.
Can we watch this instead of?
Does she enjoy it too?
She does. Yeah, she does.
So did you always have date night set aside, or did you find at one point that you guys got so busy that you like made it a priority to do this?
Yeah, the latter. It was like, I mean, we went to Italy for 10 years, and so I feel like the first 10 years.
10-year anniversary. It's just like we just got back.
We just got back from 10 years. No, for our 10-year anniversary. And, so we talked a lot about, the last 10 years and stuff. And to me, I think it's the hardest 10 years in probably any marriage, and personally, because I think you grow so much, depending on, I guess, what age you get married. But I mean, I got married
going on vacation is so great too. Like that's
awesome. I think you have to prioritize all of that. And again, it doesn't have to be Italy every time, but even like a staycation, you know, go into Dallas for a night, you know, on a weekend or whatever. So, huge on that. I think if you can make it through your, the 7-year itch, maybe that's the number, but I think 10 years being like the big, you know,
when the kids
anniversary,
are young,
it's a good feat, you know, making it 10 years. And
and
you know, I've grown so much as a person. I can't even imagine the person I was at 23 or 24, but and where I am today. So I think prioritizing yourself, especially like right now, like as I'm kind of finding my way through this new like working mom, it's like I still have to find like time for myself because I wake up so early and just go all day. About meditation, there's a mat called a Shakti mat, and it's like it's Shakti, SHAKTI, Shakti.
It's like one of the prongs.
Yeah,
it is.
The acupuncture.
Yes, like plastic prongs all on it, right?
Yeah.
So you meditate on that?
And it's like meditating. I say meditating like lax because
focusing on your body.
Yeah, I'm not like, it's hard for me to like meditate. I think it's something that you kind of have to teach yourself, but there's something called NSDR, so non-sleep deep rest, and there's so many like podcasts you can put on, and it's 20 minutes. You know, I feel like there's always been that like a 20-minute nap is the best because you don't go into REM sleep or whatever. So I've really tried to like implement that. I haven't been very good about it recently, but
do you do it in the morning as part of your morning?
No, I wish I had time to do that, but my goal, especially now that I'm back and hopefully everything can kind of start calming down, like middle of the day, maybe like
it's like when you need like a little extra energy.
It's that like afternoon coffee almost, like lay there for 20 minutes, whether you're listening to something or not, like deep breathing. That was the other thing that my functional medicine doctor was saying, is like, you need to like deep breathe, like Wim Hof, so many different breathing apps that you can do. But I hold a lot of like inflammation, I think, because I'm just like go and I have a really low heart rate, so deep breathing is like really good for me. So I have been trying to be
I'm gonna need Francesca's notes on this. I have all the same problems. I think that's why. Well, you know, we went to Joe Dispenza. Francesca went too.
Oh my gosh, I want to do that.
It was incredible.
We're gonna go again next.
I'm going again. I'm taking Mike with me in November, and we want to go again next June because that Cancun one was just amazing.
Yeah.
Food was so good. I mean, we'd like pick your piece of fish or whatever, you cook it for you, like right there for lunch. I mean, it was incredible. The food was so good. The options, the ocean.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do an entire podcast on.
We did.
Oh, you did.
We haven't published it yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, did we?
We did a 2-part.
Episode 6? No, we didn't release the one on the actual retreat yet. We just talked about breaking the habit of being yourself. His book first.
Okay.
So it's kind of a 2-parter. But it was incredible. But the crazy thing is, I realized how shallow my breathing was and how much as I was breathing, I was like clamping my muscles down and holding tension here and like here and in my shoulders. And it just released more and more because he has a lot of breath work in his meditations too. And I was telling Francesca that I've been so bad at doing the breathwork ones because they're longer. They're like an hour long. And like for a busy mom, I think that's a lot. It's challenging. But it made such a difference. I literally like 4.5 pounds fell off of me that week. And I was eating like a horse because the buffet was so darn good. The food was amazing. And not really working out except for just walks. We would get like 10,000 steps in though because we were just walking back and forth to like the conference.
We accidentally booked the hotel farther away.
That's a whole other story. If you ever go, book so early, like as soon as you buy your tickets and they release it, book the hotel.
Yeah.
Everybody books it and it books out. So we were like next door, so we had like a 12-minute walk in the morning. So we were doing that a couple times a day and walking down to the beach and going for swims. But it was all just very chill. Like I feel like I normally work out like a lot of hours a week, like 6 to 10 hours a week, hard between tennis, Pilates, walking around here and just doing stuff. And it was like, I felt amazing. Like my shorts were so loose on my waist. I had no inflammation. I flew back. I didn't use my compression stockings. So I'm hoping to see the same change again when I go back.
Oh, I think breathing is huge.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, I think everyone needs yoga. So
yes, yoga's good.
Adding in yoga, whether it's once a week, every other week, like, I think it's huge. Learning to, everyone always thinks yoga is like not a workout, but the type of yoga we do at Form is more of that. I don't know. It's the power of vinyasa, so it's quicker pace. So when the first yoga class I taught there, everyone was like, I think that's the hardest class I've taken here. Because with the heat and everything, but we start out with breath work. Any yoga class I at least teach, like, one song of just finding your breath. Because I think a lot of people have never done that in their life, like making them shut down their eyes, deep breathe, whether it's box breathing or whatever, just breathing for 5 minutes, getting your mind off of whatever, like just counting your breaths, like coming back to your breathing is huge.
I just get tense and I hold stress in my neck and stuff, and so moving through that really helps.
I started doing 15-minute yoga on YouTube.
Yeah.
Just like I didn't do it this morning, but I'll do it in the afternoon. But just gonna open up my hips.
Yes, totally.
I like
We
it.
hold emotions in our hips.
Yeah, so many. Well, wow,
You're like, well, that changed everything about my life to have kids. So.
Yeah, so it was kind of like, but it also made me think a little bit like, okay, like everyone's life is about to change. Like, before I sign this document, like, do I want this? Like, how is our life going to change? And like, is it going to be for the better or like, the worse? And so, I think the biggest challenge was like just internally, like, is this what I want? And what does that look like? So just, I'm a pretty big believer in just visualizing like what you want and making it kind of happen. Like, my brother always jokes that like Charlotte always gets what she wants. Like when I had two boys and then had Palmer. And we had never done a gender reveal, but anyways, long story short, we did a gender reveal, and in the background of the video, my brother goes, it was a girl, and he's like, she always gets what she wants. And I would kind of like thought back to that whenever I was like thinking about this big new venture, and I was like, well, it's kind of true. Everything I put my mind to, like, I make sure I'm going to be good at it. You know what I mean? Like, not that I need to be the best, but that I have done like the due diligence of like, I visualized what it's going to be and where it's going to go and like how things are going to go. And so like deep down, I knew that it was going to work. It was going to be successful. Like, I had no doubt. After that, I was just like, you've got to like go for it. And then
do you like do vision boards, or are you just like sitting there? And,
no, I don't do vision boards or anything like that.
Do you see it in your mind?
Yeah, I think I just like, kind of going back to like when I'd be taking a Pilates class somewhere, I would just be like, wow, I would do this better. I would do that better. I would do this differently. Maybe not necessarily better, but I think it's just like maybe that's kind of my meditation, is like closing my eyes and like thinking of exactly where I want to be, like how I want it to look, and making that like reality. So that was probably the hardest thing that I had to like decision wise of, do I want this? Because I think a lot of women feel like they can do it all. I feel like that was like the mantra for a while. It was like, you can have it all, you know, you can work, you can be a mom, and it's just like, you can't have it. Yeah, at what cost? Because it's like something sacrifices, you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be able to give 100% to absolutely everything in your life. Like, you need help. You need to be able to like accept. Yes, you need to be able to accept that like I had to accept I'm not going to be there in the mornings. Like, I'm not going to be the one making lunches. It's not going to be like, you know, and like letting go of that was huge for me, because it's like, I'm a very like, don't ask for help. Like, I'll do it, you know, you're not going to do it, right? So I'm going to do it type person. Right. So, yeah, you know, coming on here, I was kind of thinking about that. And I think that a lot of women feel like they should be able to be like 100% at everything. And I just think that that's unachievable. I think you have to give yourself some grace. And like right now, I'm like 100% at work, you know, and so my home is probably, you know, like 90. Like, I'm not, you know, luckily the job is very flexible, but yeah, so I think you have to like give and take a little bit, but that luckily is a challenge that I feel like mentally I was able to kind of like just work through and ultimately just dive in. So.
What are the things that you do that keep you mentally strong?
Working out.
Yeah.
But also like I was saying, just that me time, like whether it's I do this like lymphatic drainage. It's not really a massage, but it's like this lady I go see, it's this huge like compression suit. So it's like mentally, like I have to like, maybe it's a facial once a week or like that, or like finding the time to do the Shakti mat, the NSDR and stuff like that. Like, I think that's what keeps me mentally strong. Because when I'm not doing that, when I'm not carving out that like tiny bit of time throughout the day before it's that like those couple of hours where I go from work to kids, I think can make like all the difference. And like where you're mentally at the end of the day when you're putting your kids to bed, and not like yelling.
You know what they say, you can't pour from an empty cup. Like, you do have to take time to fill your own cup, to make sure that you carve out these little self-care moments for yourself. That's just enough to keep you feeling like you can keep going without just running dry and feeling completely depleted. You know?
Yeah, I think it's hard as like a stay-at-home mom too, because it's like, you know,
I had a harder time when I was fully stay-at-home.
Well, it's because you're not, you know, depending on where the guilt comes from or whatever. Right. But it's like, I'm not making money. Like, I can't
spend this extra on myself.
And it's like, maybe you can't afford a babysitter or whatever. Like, go with, like, drop your kids off at a friend's house. Like, you like interchange that moment. Like, you go and then she goes or something like that. And maybe it's just meditation on a mat somewhere or whatever. So I'm huge on that. I think everyone needs it, especially in today's world where we're constantly on our phones, constantly on our computers, you know, chasing different things all the time. So
absolutely. Well, since we do talk about books so much on this podcast too, one of our questions is always, do you have a favorite book or a book that's changed your life?
Or podcast, I guess, if you're not a book.
Oh yeah, you said you listen to wellness podcasts, so that's important too.
As far as books, the most relevant book, or I guess it's not even that relevant, but the most recent book that I don't read a lot of like business, like self-help books, which maybe I should, but I read for fun, so I love like historical fiction. So that's when I'm reading. So basically I'll kind of go back and forth. I'll either listen to a book or listen to a podcast, or trying to carve out more time to actually read a book at night. But the most recent one was, I love Kristen Hanna, and The Women was a huge kind of, not like, well, so it's a historical fiction, and it's based around Vietnam. which like for me, I feel like I've read all of these historical fictions about like World War II.
Yeah, there's so many of them.
And I was like, wow, trying to think like, did I miss that history lesson of like Vietnam? Because I felt like I just knew nothing about it. You obviously know like Vietnam and like all of that, but it's a book about the nurses in Vietnam. And at that time, no women were in the military. And so the only way that you were involved in Vietnam was most likely as like a nurse. And so, but it's just this whole like story of that time in history where everyone basically hated the soldiers coming back from Vietnam. So they were treated very badly. And the women who were over there, dealing with the same like PTSD, weren't getting the same treatment, couldn't go to the veterans facilities because they go and they say, I'm here, I'm dealing with all this stuff. Like, I was at Vietnam, and they're like, no, you weren't. There was no women in Vietnam. And so it was just this like very frustrating time in history, I think, where women were fighting the same battles mentally as like men coming back from this like insanely like grotesque war. And I feel like kind of when mental health was all starting to like take shape. So it's a really good book. I mean, definitely lots of like tears and, it's a really good book. So it's not like all like cry, but it's a really moving book and just kind of takes you back into that Vietnam space. But so that was the most recent book that I really liked. And podcast, I don't know if you'll listen to The Skinny Confidential, but
Lauren,
What is that about?
That's been around for a long time.
Yeah, she was like, or I guess both of them, Michael and Lauren Bostic, they own, what's their media? They own a podcast company now. So anyways, their podcast is the Him and Her Show, and they've definitely evolved. So back then it was probably, I don't even know, but more so recently it's all wellness, it's all just a bunch of different like doctors and just a variety, everything from like dentists and like holistic dental care.
They were talking about
like,
root canals recently, right?
Yeah.
Weren't they? Yeah. It's really interesting.
Well, Dr. Barker works with the functional dentist that I go to now.
Is it Becky?
Mm-hmm, Becky Goetz, yeah.
He referred us there for Dean or something.
She's great. She's doing all my kids.
Really?
Orthodontic work and everything. So
that is like, I think that's the new frontier in dental work, is understanding the function and airway and breathing and how that impacts that. I was lucky enough that my best friend in LA works at the Breathe Institute, which has her PhD now. Shout out to Anna Gross, Dr. Anna. But she educated us about that because Audrey's teeth were coming in so crowded that they wanted to pull teeth, put a traditional expander in. And she sent us to a functional dentist who knew all about airways, did a CT scan and found that her airway was constricted. It was impacting her sleep, her posture, all that. And so she ended up with an ALF appliance. And so now both my kids have had that. I had an ALF appliance. I'm still working on straightening my teeth after, which is a whole other story. But if you get it when you're a kid, I mean, she basically doesn't even need braces. And her teeth were so crowded they could not even come in. So it's the world of dentistry has been the same for a very long time, and I think now there's this new wave of knowledge that is really interesting and is changing everything because it's more about function of the breath, the jaw, like preventing all those problems instead of just trying to have a straight smile.
Yeah,
it's very cool. I don't know what we're talking about dentistry.
No, I mean, I could go on a tangent on all of that, totally. No, again, breathing is just like our airways are completely changed as humans are evolving, so it's all the things. Yeah. It's such a big part in everything, so.
Yeah. Very cool.
I think we have two more questions. One, you sort of already answered in terms of supplements, but just in general, what are 3 non-negotiable things that you do or that help you balance work and life?
Oh gosh, that help me balance work and life.
Does it make you feel balanced in work and life, which is always crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely just like writing everything down, like even ideas, calendars, like, I mean, I I hate saying it, but I'm constantly on my phone now, and I'm like, I feel like I'm getting
carpal tunnel.
Carpal tunnel in my hand, just because I'm constantly like jotting something down, whether I'm writing a class, making a playlist, putting in calendar stuff. I have like a constant tabs open in my Safari, because it's like, I know eventually I'll go back, and if the tab was open, I knew I needed to do something like on that tab.
I have like 250 tabs open on my phone in Safari. It's really embarrassing.
Oh, well, good, because I only have like 40, and I felt like that was a lot.
Oh, you're doing great. No.
Non-negotiable for work life.
It's actually a good hack. So if the tab is open, then you know you still have something. So you
Yes,
can
so I will close it out when I've completed the task.
Relates to it.
Yeah.
Yes. Doing school stuff right then and there. Get the email.
Yeah, for
sign
kids
up
stuff. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Put it at whatever, like Red Book Ribbon Week is coming up, and I just saw it. I'm like, I need to put that in my calendar right now, or else my kid's gonna show up not wearing crazy socks on the day that he's supposed to or something.
Yeah.
So I'm a huge fan, and like if Mark sends me like an email and needs like an invoice or something, I do it right then. I don't even put it in my like.
She has a great hack. She's like, if it takes a minute or less, I'm just going to do it right now. It's
Do
not
it right now.
Putting it off for a week
Because
to
it
schedule
will,
something.
yeah, it
It
will.
will. You'll forget about it. It'll pile up. It'll
And it's
become
just in
another
your brain.
long thing on a to-do list that has a low priority at the time, but then you can miss something. You know.
Oh, yeah.
So I think tackling quick tasks that you can do in like a minute or less, it just helps clear it out of your brain and off your to-do list.
I like bucketing tasks. So if I have to do phone calls, I'll do
All the
Yes,
phone
all
calls.
the phone calls at once.
or appointments. Like if I'm getting my nails done, well, I don't really get my nails done, but like getting my hair done and stuff like
Yes,
that. And
yeah. And third, I think just circling back to like you time. Like you have to have whatever it is throughout
Something to fill your own bucket.
whether it's daily or maybe you try and do it once a week or twice a week. Like it's just it should be a non-negotiable for all moms and all.
Recently, someone told me this, and I thought it made a lot of sense. Like, if the world is getting overwhelming, that's when you need to like lean into yourself more and take care of yourself.
I love that.
And focus on self-care, rather than like, because you can't control external.
Totally.
I think the very, very poignant question left.
Poignant is such a good word.
It is a good word. There's lots of vocab.
Me too.
Poor Dean. He hates reading in vocab, and always like drilling on how important it is. And his wordly wise now in 4th grade, and like the definitions and stuff he has to practice. He's like, Mom, come on. I was like, that's very important to have a good vocabulary.
It really is.
But so if you could leave behind a piece of advice that you always want your children to remember, what would it be?
Yes, because I thought about it.
You're so prepared. I love it.
Well, it was like we were on that trip, and I asked Mark that. I said, "Hey, I'm doing this podcast, and this is one of the questions." I said, "What would yours be?" So we kind of got to thinking about it, and mine was work hard, stand up for what you believe in, and have compassion and stay curious. So kind of all like intertwining together. So I think there's always that that saying of like work smarter, not harder, and I'm kind of not a fan of that because I feel like there's so many like smart apps and stuff that can like give you the easy way out nowadays. We're really trying to instill in our kids like you have to work hard. Like if you want to make this premier team, you're gonna have to work hard. You're not like, yeah, we tell you good job and stuff, but like you're not the best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you want to be the best, you have to work hard.
Yeah.
And then standing up for like what you believe in. I think you should always stand up for anything that you believe in and have a voice about it, but also have compassion and stay curious.
actually.
It does. It's really sad, and it discourages discourse, because then you're reading comments and looking at things from everyone else who has the same opinion. It's very rare that there's, anything that brings people together in this way. So I think that having curiosity and compassion for other people's viewpoints, ideologies, sides of things is so important, because it's easy to paint someone as the other and to dismiss their thoughts and beliefs. But if you keep an open mind and just explore those things, you honestly find out you have a lot more in common than you think.
Yeah.
And really humanity does, as far as values and beliefs and what they want, and just to feel safe and secure and, have a decent life. And it's going to be, I love that one. It's very nice.
There was a really stressful time during the last election where everyone felt like they were.
Yes, and
Oh my God, last election, you mean like right now?
Oh gosh,
This
I
one,
know.
I feel like this one is more tempered. Like people aren't going.
What? Oh my God.
Oh, maybe I just like.
Maybe you're
I've
checked
checked out.
Stay
Yeah.
that way.
Stay. Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
I saw the funniest meme. It was like, I can't take this election hurricane, crazy season.
Pumpkin spice latte
And
season.
they're like, can Mariah Carey come out singing yet?
Tell her we're ready.
I'm ready for the holidays. It's
No.
too intense. Oh man, yeah. Well, thank you so much. It's been
Yeah.
so awesome having
Thanks
you
for
on.
having me.
This
Yeah.
is wonderful.
Yeah,
Thank you for being
well-
our first guest.
Oh, of
Yay.
course, I hope I wasn't too tangent.
Not at all. No. Oh, gosh,
Like-
no. Just
But yeah, I could
Such a
talk
wealth of information,
supplements,
too.
wellness, health, all the things anytime. So, but yeah, thanks for having me, and come check out Form.
Oh yeah, I'll be
Yes.
there. I'll be there probably again
Well,
tomorrow.
thank you. Yes.
Awesome.
I also wanted to go into why you don't want to do we can record this.
Oh, you want to
I'm
record it?
curious about like why you don't want to franchise or like open up more.
Do you? Would you?
Oh, would I franchise?
Yeah.
I don't know.
When you opened up, I literally said, "This is genius. She's going to
I
franchise."
thought
this
it was
thing."
a franchise
A
because it
boatload
has
of
such a
money.
perfect
It's
name
so
and
well
a perfect
done.
brand. Like
The branding is so on point. The design is so on point. Everything is just so well thought out that I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be like the dry bar for Pilates Yoga Studios."
Yeah, I don't know. I think that, yes, I think ultimately if someone were to come to me like in a year or two and say, I want to franchise this, we would probably like look at it. But I think it was so niche, like in this community, so thought out of like it would be very hard for me to like give the reins to somebody, and I would have to do a lot of vetting. And if I were to take it anywhere else, I would take it to probably Fort Worth or Austin.
Yeah. Honestly, though, I don't know how much more saturated the coasts are. I think there was better options
like
there.
New York, California.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's probably better options.
There's just so many. Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know if out there if there is anything similar. Now maybe not like this exact style, but I think my mind right now is just like create, because we do have this space right next door. So stay tuned on what's coming next. But
Ooh.
It's exciting.
yeah, more probably sooner rather than later, because there's literally like 1,800 square feet next door to us that we've always we basically have the first right of refusal, and there's a sushi place that wants to go in there right now, and so we're literally in the next couple of weeks probably having deciding. So yeah,
It's exciting.
but probably more of just like I want to like juice and smoothie bar.
That's what I was thinking.
I
Cafe.
have said so many times, there is nothing good around here, and there was only that Pure place, and it wasn't great, and
They
it
didn't
smelled weird,
organic.
and their bathrooms were
Yeah, it
disgusting. The
smelled-
design
smelled
was
like
terrible.
bleach or
Oh,
like cleaning
thank goodness,
supplies.
that'll be fun. And it's set up right there, so it's like
Yeah, I want it to be like where you can basically like put in your order before class and it be ready for you when you go
have
out.
to go check out the place in Colleyville then to get some inspiration on how because it started off.
Go Organic Eats.
Go Organic Eats.
They stopped their cafe. They're like actually having a hard time with.
They have a hard time, but it's very disjointed and disorganized.
It is,
It's
yeah.
not cute design. It's like
It's not cute
environmental.
design.
Well, I've
shelves.
also thought of like franchising, or I don't know if they franchise, but have y'all ever been to Juice Land in Austin? There's a few in Dallas too, but it's a really good juice smoothie bar. But then I think we'll add probably one more room for some different formats, and then I want to do like cold,
Like needs a juice
cold
bar.
plunge,
yeah.
red light therapy.
And so we did when we were in Cancun. We did like
They had
the
a
circuit.
circuit and
That's
infrared
amazing.
and oh my gosh.
Cold plunge. We spent like 20
It was
minutes.
your
in a
first
cold
time doing cold plunge. I mean, it
You
wasn't
were
like
like
cold,
that.
cold, cold, but it was 55. We stayed in for 15 minutes. We were like being very like meditative, and it was amazing.
It felt so good.
Maybe that's what I want.
I said, that's what I want. We need that. What?
Yeah.
So that's what dropped off the information.
That was at the end where we did
No, we
it.
did the beginning and the end. We did. Remember, we came in a day early and then we left.
We did
That's
do-
what's also awesome about the Cancun one because you have access to all that. And it's like $25 and you can access it all day and just keep going and relaxing. And they have
Yeah.
outdoor pools that are really beautiful with like the jets in it too.
We did a lot of
So
self-care. We
nice.
would meditate and
We
then
did so much
go into the
self-care.
ocean.
So it was
We
so
also had nothing else to do
incredible.
but meditate.
It was
Talk to each
crazy.
other.
Like it literally alters your mind so much that I was constantly feeling like I was like drunk or hungover. Like my mind was never just like feeling the way it does now, but it was so much quieter and calmer, and it was crazy. Yeah.
Circuit. South Lake needs that. And we need a
Yeah.
juice bar, good juice bar.
Yeah, there's no good juice now. I don't even know where I would go if I wanted to
Nectar.
get a fresh juice. They do fresh press.
They do.
Okay.
I juice myself, but it's like,
Oh, I hate cleaning
It takes, I know.
process.
I
I
still
don't have
have
the time right
juicer,
now,
but
yeah.
It's just, it's too much. It's too much work, too much cleaning.
Well, yeah, so TBD on all that. We'll see.
yay.
We're
I'm
excited.
sure it's going to be amazing.
Wait, it's almost 2 o'clock. Do you have to?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go pick her up.
Okay.